The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV, cable channel 224 and BTC TV Flow 112. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and my politics, notwithstanding a fundamental disagreement with the new Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the leader of the Free National Movement, Dr. Hubert A. Minnis. I am an FNM, having paid up my dues for 2 years. So, I want to welcome you to Freedom March. Well, today, you can also join me on ILTVstudios.com. And I'm going to attempt, while talking to you, to see if I am able to get this to my page, because my technical assistants, they have not arrived as yet. So just relax. I'm going to do these things. Just relax. Now, for the first hour, I'm not receiving any call. But when I do open up the lines, you may call me on the main line. That's 323-7775. Or you can call me toll free if you are in the Family Islands and or around the world. And the toll-free number here is 242-300-0045. 242-300-0045. Or you can text or WhatsApp me at 357-7469. 357-7469. Well, the news is clear. The new Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. He's the fourth Prime Minister in an independent Bahamas and the first non-attorney at law. He's a doctor, a gynecologist. But while thousands of FNMs are celebrating the victory, there are a number of thugs in the FNM who has been threatening many citizens whom they have identified as opposing the FNM. When I return, I'm going to tell you the story of a Negro woman who did not vote PLP nor FNM, and by grab, the party she voted for, she can't find them. So she turned to me, the Justice of the Peace, and the Negro woman said, "Justice of the Peace, help me." So today, I'm going to call out her leader and ask him why he wouldn't answer the phone. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. And guess what? They're even threatening me now. Again. And they're threatening my children and my grandchildren. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you about a man who professed Jesus Christ. He's a pastor, and he threatened me this morning. But I shall not turn back. And when I return, I'm going to ask Dr. Minnis to stop the intimidation. I'm not turning back. I'll be right back after we pay the bills. Bills, Freedom March in a few seconds.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Moncur.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV, and you can join me on my Facebook page. I hope I shared ILTVstudios.com Facebook correctly with you. My technical people, they have not arrived in studio. But I have to use the word supposed to be on cable, channel 224, and on BTC Flow 112. In addition to that, if you were to go to ILTVstudios.com, it's their Facebook page, you should see us streaming live. My name is Rodney Moncur, and of course, as usual, my spiritual advisor and biblical scholar, Bradley Roll, is in the house 2 days after we had a general election. My spiritual advisor, and may I say, my biblical scholar. Welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Moncur. It is a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, I give God
on
thanks
Freedom March.
to have you here with me.
Absolutely.
Well, today is a sad day because the FNM, notwithstanding the fact that they have won 91% of the parliamentary seats, 91%, and you can rightfully declare it a massive victory. Supporters of the FNM, many of them dress in the party costume, thugs I call them, they are threatening and intimidating citizens. But for some of the citizens who are being threatened, their party appears to have abandoned them. I'll give you a story. Today, in the city of New Providence, appeared before me a Negro female who declared that she is a supporter of the Democratic National Alliance, DNA. She's claimed that on election day, as she approached the poll, she had a revelation, and the revelation told her to boldly enter the poll and vote for the DNA candidate. And she did it. Now she is shocked as to how a Negro male who lives on Cowpen Road, not too far from where she resides, how he figured out that she voted DNA. Now she claims that she has been threatened and she's intimidated by this Negro male dressed in an FNM t-shirt. I inquired, why did you choose me? Well, she knew I used to be a DNA candidate, but apparently she is among the few Negroes who is unaware that I've left the DNA more than 2 years. But since she came before me, I had a moral, a political, and a legal duty to hear her complaint and to offer her some solution. I said to her, have you contacted your party leader? She said she doesn't know where to find him. I said, have you found the Negro male that you voted for? The poor Negro woman does not know where to find Branwell McCartney, nor is she able to find Bush and Bristol, her candidate. So I decided I will offer her the confidential cell contact for Branwell McCartney. And I give it to her. And I invited her to call him in my presence. And by grab, Bran, he answered the phone. So I said to her, keep working the number all day. Because I don't know if Branwell, he might be shell-shocked. And therefore, him, Chris, and Bush and Bristol, the three of them might be licking their wounds. So see if you can find them. And if you don't find them by tomorrow, come back and see me. I asked the F&M to stop it. I asked the F&M to leave those people who have been identified as persons who did not support the Free National Movement. My God, from Zion, you got 91% of the seat. Do you have to intimidate us? Do you have to intimidate the woman on Carpen Road? But I'm going to give you a secret about that woman. Lord, I don't know if I should say it. It is a woman who does not play. She doesn't. Jacks, I'm going to call 3. She is the woman who stood on the man avec bagay pour couper na terre. Just told Jacks what it is. All right? I asked the F&M to stop it. God bless the F&M. You got a victory. My God, you have to be around having your supporters intimidating. Stop it. And Branwell McCartney, where the heck you are, that DNA supporters are being intimidated and can't find you. I don't know what this is. What is this? Would you all please stop it? It's horrible, my spiritual advisor, that today a Negro woman appeared before me and she said she can have no peace. An F&M, a Negro F&M, dressed in the party t-shirt, has been harassing her because he has discovered that she voted for the DNA. The DNA hardly got any votes. They're not a threat. Brown is not a threat. Chris is not a threat. Bush got defeated in the bush. They're not a threat. Why are they doing it? What counsel will you give to a party who has won 91% of all the seats?
Well, Mr. Moncur, it is interesting that I'm here on the show with you today and to hear this coming, these accusations coming from your mouth. This morning when I got up, Mr. Moncur, what is so interesting, a lot of things was on my mind, and one of the primary things that stood in my mind, that the elections are over, and the Free National Movement is forming or has formed the next government. And on my Facebook page, for all those who would be my friends on Facebook, I said that we should not allow politics to destroy our friendships. And apparently it seems as if that's the road we are headed, and it is not good. I think people, for the most part, do have a right to decide who they're going to vote for, and if they do, they should be able to do so without fear of any threat or victimization. I'm sure, Mr. Moncur, you being a very seasoned activist, would know that the few bad apples do not represent all of the Free National Movement. I'm sure that the policy, as you are aware, the Prime Minister says that there is no fear in victimization from the Free National Movement, that he is the Prime Minister for the entire Bahamas, not only for the F&Ms. So those few bad apples who may not be mature enough to understand that people do have a right to decide who they want to vote for, I don't know if they represent the whole of the F&M or its philosophy. I mean, to be quite frank and fair with the new government. That's my 2 cents on that.
While the new Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, has said that there will be no victimization, he has not denounced violence. He has not said to supporters, do not intimidate the opposition. Do not threaten anybody. He's not said that. And this woman is extremely frustrated. And I tried to help her by giving her Branwell McCartney's number. And I sat down, and Branwell answered the phone. You see what happens when you choose wrong political leadership. Branwell is the wrong leadership because he should have had someone stationed at the party DNA headquarters to receive complaints I don't know if Brian Pun shrunk and therefore cannot accept complaints. But for a whole Negro woman, a whole woman, to vote for the DNA and an F&M man on Cowpen Road, according to the woman, is intimidating her, is threatening her. Something has to be wrong. And I call on Branwell McCartney, because I have the woman's cell number and her name. I have it. Branwell, when I come off the show, I'm going to call you and give you your supporter name. And you have a duty to listen to her complaint and give her the necessary legal advice. Because you, Bran, you're an attorney. And every DNA must be protected from threats of harm, victimization. Other than that, Bran, you're pussyfooting. And your pussyfoot must come to an end. Because you caused DNAs to be subjected to threats because you didn't properly manage the DNA and keep it strong and potent. Now F&M thugs are around the place threatening the opposition. I ask you, Bran, to do something about it. The DNA, you have support. Organize marches and demonstration and issue a statement and tell all DNA supporters, if they feel intimidated, either it's real or imaginated, they must come to the DNA East Street headquarters, where you and Chris and Butch and Andrew Wilson and the other people them will stand your ground, because the F&M is so powerful that they think that they can get away with threatening. And that's what's going on. So while many say that the government will not victimize, what about the party and its supporters? I want you all to stop it. I want you all to stop it before you cause civil disruption in our society. You win. Winners, while victorious, while celebrating, should not harm or threaten the opposition. My God, the DNA ain't got that much votes. They ain't got that much votes. So why you have to intimidate the Negro woman? And that Negro woman don't play. Jacks, Madame Saha, c'est Madame qui campe sous gros garçon noir avec le couteau. Madame Fou, Madame Pagre, and F&M Pakune, Madame Saha. I had to talk to Jacks in a little bit of Haitian Creole, because this is what is taking place, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Moncur, it is completely sad, and you do raise a very valid issue in that the DNA has failed miserably in their quest to win seats in the last general election. As a matter of fact, I think they did worse than they did in the last election.
Well, that is a political reality.
Yeah, so
the F&M,
I don't understand the threats against any DNA supporter.
If they
it doesn't
want
make any sense.
The DNA, go look for Brown and threaten him. Go look for Chris. Go threaten Man. All right? And you shouldn't threaten Brown, because Brown Ma and Dr. Menace is first cousin. All right? Menace, let me warn you. Tell F&M supporters to stop it, because that is not Christian. You can't run a society where the opposition are being threatened. My spiritual advisor, on election day, they followed my senatorial jeep. You hear me? Threatening and intimidating. They thought I was going to be in the jeep. They think I'm stupid. I know the history of the party. The party like killing its supporters. Because in 1972, they took a supporter in the back of a Paul truck where the F&M, its thugs, held a kangaroo court. Didn't allow the poor man to even call a witness. They held a kangaroo court. And they must stop it. Because Paul truck is a part of the political history of the party. And the party in these modern times should not be intimidating people. The woman was so distraught. I want you all to stop it. Even me was intimidated today.
I was a witness a few days ago, something that I found to be extremely disappointing for the most part. When you were leaving the Breakfast Club, apparently a F&M supporter was extremely upset with you. And it got to the point where he almost was going to stop his truck and come out. You see, Mr. Moncur, this intimidation and victimization has been a part of our political culture for a long time. And it's about time we put a handle on it before, people get hurt. I don't know why it gets to this point where people feel that they have to either threaten or intimidate people because of their political persuasion. The only thing I can say, and it's very hypocritical of us, we live in a Christian nation. We claim to follow Christianity, yet still we fail to do the one most important thing, and that is to respect and love our fellow men, regardless of our political persuasion. I do believe that we should be able to live in a society, Mr. Moncur, where we can choose who we want to vote for and still get along like Bahamians should, no doubt. A new day and a new era has dawned in the Commonwealth.
Is that really true?
Yes, it is true.
No, my spiritual advisor.
There's a new era.
On the face of it, the leader of the F&M and the nation's new prime minister, he talks peace and no victimization, while his Gestapo group are about to place intimidating woman.
It should not be. That should not be.
And when I come back, I'm going to tell you what a saved pastor, a saved Baptist man, who has a whole church, or purports to have a church, I'm going to tell you what threat he has made subtly about my children and my grandchildren. I got to hurry up, find some money, jump on the mail boat, and head to Electoral to talk to my daughter and to say to her, if you see any F&M, hide. Because I don't like what this man has said. This is a man that I supported, went to Electoral, campaigned for him. But by grab, in the height of his victory, he sends me a threat. But I shall not be intimidated. This is Freedom March. Today, an F&M has suddenly threatened my children and my grandchildren. Lord Jesus, I ask you to protect me, my wife, my children, and my grandchildren against the forces of evil. Because I will tell them, if you unlawfully touch my wife, my children, my grandchildren, there will be war in Jerusalem. Because it need not happen. If you have a problem with me, you deal with me. My wife ain't political, nor my children. This is Freedom March. The forces of evil is camped outside my gates. Jesus, help me.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV. And you can join me on iltvstudios.com. That is their Facebook page. I've also shared ILTV Studios Facebook page to my page, and hopefully that is also streaming for those of you who have complained to me today that you were not able to find this streaming. My name is Rodney Moncur, and as usual, I'm so blessed to have my biblical scholar and spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. So Bradley, once again, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Moncur.
When I took the adjournment, I was complaining about how thugs in F&M costumes have been about the place threatening. And I give you the story of a Negro female who voted DNA, and she now claims that she's being threatened by a Negro male in an F&M t-shirt. And she has not been able to find her party leader, Branwell McCartney. And I provided her with the confidential cell number of Bran. And up to the point that she was in my presence, she was unable to reach him. And I shall hope and pray that the DNA will issue a statement and tell DNA supporters where to come and report any forms of threats and or intimidation. I think that is crucial. Well, for most of you, you might not be aware that as a result of the boundary changes, I am a resident of a new constituency called St. Barnabas. And St. Barnabas has a new member of parliament. And it is Shannon Dawn Cartwright. And so Shannon Dawn is my personal friend. And so I want to salute Shannon Dawn and to say to him, Shannon Dawn, congratulations. And I hope you remember what I told you in your days of political frustration. Remember what I said? They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So Shenandoah, I salute you and I wish you well in St. Barnabas. You are now my member of parliament. And guess what? I'm being intimidated by the F&M. I'll give you another story as the show progresses. And then, of course, I have another friend, a Negro man whom the F&M had plotted against. Can you imagine? They didn't want to give him the nomination because they said he was too black. And take it from me, if you were to meet him, he is truly an African, truly a black man. I had to curse out some F&M, accuse them of racism, and then I secretly jumped on the mailboat and I went and had a talk because he's my personal friend and I don't like to abandon friends or friendship when I know that a man's heart is good. I did the same thing in the 2007 election. Papa had a bombshell to drop on Dr. Perry Gomez. And I couldn't let Papa pull that on him because whenever I run into the road and I say, Dr. Perry Gomez, I feel sick, he sang me wherever I was. And you have to be grateful. And I went and I sent him a coded message, do not engage Papa in any debate. And if you do not engage him, he will not be able to drop that bombshell on you. And Perry Gomez was smart. He did not engage Papa, and therefore Papa could not justify dropping the bombshell on him. So I salute Ricky and I wish him well. And then, of course, I have another friend, Adrian Gibson, who has emerged as the parliamentary representative for Long Island. Very good friend. But once decent Loretta Butler Turner appointed me to the Senate, I said to Adrian, Adrian, you're my friend, but until the election is over, I shall stay far from you, and you stay far from me, so that I could avoid the very appearance of evil. And I told him I was committed to supporting decent Loretta Butler Turner. Now, Adrian, whenever you wish to see me, you may now call me. So I just thought I would say that, my spiritual advisor. So that is what we have dealt with today. So now let's look at one or two other issues. Well, yesterday, Dr. Hubert Minnis was sworn in as the 4th Governor General in an independent the fourth prime minister, thank you, my spiritual advisor, always correct me, eh?
Absolutely.
He was sworn in as the fourth prime minister in an independent Bahamas. And of course, the first non-attorney at law. You would recall that from about last year, I warned the country that Dr. Minnis was under the authority of Sarkis Ismailian. I told the country this. I said, listen, Sarkis got Dr. Minnis. I also pointed out, I was the first, before the PLP adopted the argument. I said, Marvin Daines is Sarkis. Jeff Lloyd is Sarkis. The Nuncio de Aguilar is Sarkis. And if you observe the campaign, all that they argued, the whole debate, was for Sarkis. Well, by grab, Dr. Minnis, on day one of power being transferred to him, peacefully and lawfully, what does he do? He produces Sarkis. Now the Tribune recognized that Dr. Minnis had made a fundamental political error. The Tribune, they are masters at political strategy. So what did they do? They attempted to hide the photograph with Minnis and Sarkis. That's what the Tribune did. My spiritual advisor, look in the Tribune, see if you could find that photograph. The Tribune, I'm talking about, my spiritual advisor. But the Nassau Guardian, since they are also a part of the sellout, they were happy to put Sarkis here. Now this is a prime minister who, during the campaign, said that this was, what was the F&M slogan?
It's the people's time.
This is the people's time. Okay? And who are the first set of people that we see? Well, I'll read to you the front page of the Nassau Guardian. The Tribune, in an attempt to cover up, recognizing what Minnis is doing, the Tribune hid it on page 6. Get today's Tribune. I'm going to promote the Tribune and the Guardian today. Get the paper. The Tribune hide it on page 6 because the Tribune them got plenty sense. They recognize that this picture represents putting, what? What is the slogan?
It's the people's time.
Putting
People's first.
Yes, they hid it because they know that Sarkis is not the people's. He's not. But the Nassau Guardian, they have it on the front page. This is the first evidence of Dr. Minnis not interested principally in putting the people's first. It is Sarkis. I told y'all, I said, listen, Minnis is working for Sarkis. Dr. Minnis is working for foreign forces. And so we now have Sarkis. Throughout the campaign, him and the Nuncio de Aguilar continue to talk about what has happened to Sarkis. And then you would recall, I think it was in November or December of last year, or the earlier part of this year, there was a birthday party for Sidney Poitier at Bahama. And I was invited. And by grab, notwithstanding that they had Chinese security and Negro security, I was able to evade the security. And when I got around that corridor, I saw why Sarkis, I saw why the Nuncio de Aguilar was so angry. Sarkis did for him what I've never seen any man do for another man. A whole suite was named after the Nuncio de Aguilar. A whole suite. So, we see the emergence of Sarkis. Sarkis who could now mock Christie, mark Fred Mitchell, mark the various PLP leaders who put him in his place. And I'll tell you another secret. The nuncio loved Sarkis Ismailian so much. Do you know he named a child after Sarkis? That is true. He named a daughter after Sarkis. That is what the nuncio has done. Let me see if I can find the name, because it's a powerful name. What the child name? Just bear with me. I can find the name, and perhaps you all may want to name some of your children, those of you who are F&M. You all may want to name some of your children after Sarkis. Well, the nuncio, the Aguilar, named a female child Sakia. Well, who knows? If Brother Jacques was to name a whole suite behind me, I may have to name a child Nick Colia. But Sarkis, the nuncio, the Aguilar, has a whole child named after Sarkis. You heard it here first on Freedom March. Her name is Sakia. Now, I am usually very good at spelling. I'm not sure if I'm going to be spelling it correctly for you, but we know that Sarkis is capital S-A-R-K-I-S. But the nuncio, the Aguilar, he named the child Sakia. So I'm going to try it. Capital S-A-R-K-I-A. Sakia. That's what is going on. So his first mistake is at government house. He present his boss, Sarkis. For those of you who are patriotic citizens, take note. Take note. It's on the front page of the Nassau Guardian. Go buy your Guardian. There it is. Nassau Guardian, front page, under the photograph, with Menace signing the oath of office before our decent, Her Excellency, Dame Margaret. But below it is Dr. Menace with Sarkis, Sarkis' wife, and Dr. Menace's wife. That is the first sign that we are in trouble, because he who pays the piper must call the tune. He who pays the piper will call the tune. So it appears that Menace is the piper and Sarkis is the payer. He who pays the piper. Am I saying it right, my spiritual advisor?
He who pays the piper.
Go ahead.
Plays the tune.
Come on, my spiritual advisor. Come on.
What is it?
He who pays the piper will call the tune.
Call the tune. Okay. Let me see if I can be the devil's advocate. And
Well,
try
as
and do
a
it,
Christian man.
well, in a positive way.
Hold on a second.
Let me change that.
Hold
I
on a
repent.
second, my spiritual advisor. I renounce Satan. Booyaka.
In the name of Jesus. All right. Let's see if we can extract some good from this, right? Number one, Sarkis Ismailian. Is he not a resident of the Bahamas?
Is he?
I'm thinking he is.
He doesn't live in Black Village.
He lives
doesn't
in
live in
Lightfoot Cape.
Centerville.
He lives in
He
Lightfoot
doesn't
Cape.
live in Baintown. He doesn't live in St. Barnabas.
Is he a resident of the Bahamas?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
There's a difference between being a citizen and a resident, right?
Okay.
Okay, so for this argument, let's just say he is a resident of the Bahamas.
Let's say he has permanent residency.
Right.
Go
So
ahead.
no doubt he has some interest here in the Bahamas.
Okay.
Right? Number two, from what I understand, Bahama is Sarkis Ismailian brainchild.
So does it mean that Menace will continue to hold on to his unlawful threat to take Bahama and sell it to Sarkis?
I don't even want to go there yet.
Well,
right?
my spiritual advisor,
in all
why
honesty,
not go there?
No, not yet.
Why is on the front page of the Nassau? Hold on. Why on the front page of the Nassau Guardian aren't the people them who voted F&M? Or is it the man who paid the Pied Piper? Menace, I submit, is the Pied Piper. And Sarkis is the man who paid the Pied Piper. We are being sold out on day one. Mark my word. There have been an F&M Negro advisor who said to me, don't reveal this. Let Menace make more mistake. I don't want Menace to make more mistake. I want to stop Menace now. Menace, this is wrong. This is a sign that your boss, this is Menace's boss. And I say it is wrong, and the PLP must quickly mobilize, must quickly organize, must quickly take to the street so that the people then will know that Menace has sold out to Sarkis. And to show Menace how offended I am, I'm going to tear it up. And Sarkis, lick it on mama. Sarkis, keep out our politics.
You don't want to be offensive.
Sarkis, lick it on mama.
Mr. Moncur.
And Ching Wong 42.
Mr. Moncur, in your anger, you don't want to say.
I'm not angry, my spiritual advisor.
You seem to be
I
frustrated.
Oh,
you
no,
seem to be frustrated or upset.
No, I'm not frustrated.
But I wasn't finished making my point.
I'm going to let you make your point.
But why destroy a whole newspaper
Mr.
for that?
Producer, I'm about to lick the camera. Is the camera
No,
strong?
you can't do that, no.
Because I don't want Sebastian to
He will sue you.
sue me. All right? Now go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Okay. So here's my point. Remember now, Bahama, the dream of Bahama is solely Sarkis is Marillion. And it was introduced to the Bahamas government under the Free National Movement, who at the time was headed by Hubert Alexander Ingram. Am I right?
My spiritual advisor, you have the floor.
Right.
You become the apologist for the new prime minister.
No.
Be an apologist for minutes.
Sometimes, Mr. Moncur, a lot of things don't really seem like they appear.
Well, then tell me what this seems to be.
Well, as a Christian, what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to see if I can extract some positive things out of it. All right?
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Sarkis is Marillion.
Look at the camera.
All right, Sarkis.
So that my people.
Sarkis is Marillion brought this brainchild to life. All right? And I understand that apparently Sarkis was shafted by the PLP government.
What do you mean by shafted? Because these are serious allegations that you are making.
It means that apparently the PLP government had pushed Sarkis out.
But that is not true.
Of the investment.
That is not true. Sarkis.
Hence being the reason.
Hold on, my spiritual advisor. I will not allow you to lie on the PLP while they are in opposition. What are the facts? Sarkis and the Chinese fell out. Sarkis decided to ignore the jurisdiction of which Bahama is located. Where is the jurisdiction? In the Bahamas.
He went to Delaware.
Sarkis went to the States.
Delaware.
And the government, who had a political responsibility by virtue of the fact that they had allowed Sarkis to hold on some of the prime real estate in Nassau, Cable Beach. So the Bahamas government challenged it and decided it will move to have the case heard in the Bahamas. And the white judge, a whole white American. And let me tell you, ain't no American as smart as the white people in America. And he say that he agree with our Negro judge, Justice Ian Winder. And he told Sarkis and all of his generation box to take it to Nassau. He agreed with the judge. So at all material time, the government acted lawfully.
So, Mr. Moncur, all right? Here it is now that Sarkis is Marillion publicly has admitted that he still is interested in the $3.2 billion project. He still wants it, all right? And from all indications, he still wants to make an offer for it. It would appear, though, based on the pictures in both the Tribune and the Guardian, that there is a cozy relationship between Sarkis Marillion and our now Prime Minister.
Well,
That's the way
Sarkis
it appears.
had a cozy relationship with the Aguilar. He had a whole sweet name after the Aguilar. And by grab, when the Chinaman, the Folk Company,
Chai Tai Fook.
took it over, don't say that too much because that sounds like you cursing. When they took it over, the Chinese came with a special China brush. And they took that China brush and they brushed the Aguilar names off. And that is what has happened.
But let me ask you a question, Mr.
And I'm
Moncur.
saying, and I'll let you answer me the question, I'm saying that Minas should have hide Sarkis. Sarkis is an insult to the PLP. That is what this is all about. And that is why I continue to call on the thousands of young Bahamian who are PLP supporters. Quickly get over the beating. Quickly get over the humiliation. This is politics. You win some and you lose some. And let us organize peaceful marches and demonstration. Peaceful rallies. Okay? I want to be a consultant. But you'll find some money now and pay me because I'm very good. And I know how to organize. All right? But Minas is wrong.
Final question.
Minas is wrong. I would have had no problem. Bring me another guardian because all they have in here is guardian. I told them to bring plenty guardian because I'm going to be tearing them out all day. I say that Minas is wrong. I would have had no problem if Minas had all the grassroots people that he said he was going to put first. But this is the sign. All we need now is the white man who is in charge of Save the Bay. And when it is over, you would have seen that the FNM became a stooge for foreign forces. And that is why we need campaign finance reform.
I agree with that.
That is why, my Negro people, I ask you all to reject corruption and let us move to institute campaign finance reform so we could know who paid for the chicken sauce. We could know who paid for the chicken at the F&M function, who paid for the hot dog. Campaign finance reform will tell us. But this is the first sign that Minas is not going to put the interests of the people first.
I want to advance an argument to you. As relates to Obama and Sarkis Marillion, right? If you understand the investment, whose hands should it really be in as far as interest here in the Bahamas? Should it be in the Chinese hands or should it really be in the man who held the dream?
My spiritual advisor, we must examine the law. The matter went to court. The court put it in the hands of a receiver. And the receiver, we are advised, found a purchaser. And we are advised it was sold. Will Minas now nationalize Bahama and give it to Sarkis? Will he do that? Is that what Minas is going to do?
Is there anything wrong with that?
Yes, something is fundamentally wrong with that. Anyway, folks, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Minas need a lot of soap and bleach to wash the sins of Sarkis off. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. My spiritual advisor, he's an F&M defender. And when we return, I shall ask the spiritual advisor if it was right for a man of God to subtly threaten and intimidate me. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. Today, an F&M who I regarded as my friend, he gave me a subtle threat. Lord Jesus, he professed Christianity. He is a Baptist minister. And when I come back, I ask the question, is John Lee Ferguson saved? S-A-V-E, saved. We'll be right back. as I call on PLPs to stand up. Stand up!
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Moncur.
Freedom March, broadcasting live from ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Moncur, and of course I'm joined by my spiritual advisor and biblical scholar, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Senator.
When I took the adjournment, I told you about Dr. Menace's first political mistake. Instead of putting the people them first at Government House, we saw the hands of special interests. And I want Bahamians to take note of it. And I call on the thousands of PLP supporters, young people, to start mobilizing. Get out of the spirit of defeat and get into the spirit of liberation, of freedom, of carrying out political action, of making the FNM accountable and transparent. This is so good and healthy for democracy. Parties do win and they do lose. But winners will only win if you think like a winner and if you organize. And that is what is needed. Because I warned you Negroes, but y'all didn't listen to me. I said, listen, this election ain't about the people them, you know. This is about special interests. And by grab, Dr. Menace couldn't hide Sarkis. And so the next thing we got to watch out is, will Sarkis get 3 cabinet appointments? I hope that I'm wrong, but I believe that the second reward for Sarkis is to give the Nuncio de Aguilar, who named a whole child after Sarkis. Sarkis, the Nuncio, named his child Sakia after Sarkis. And then, of course, there is Marvin Pender. Not Marvin Pender, Marvin Dames. Marvin Dames, will he get a ministerial appointment? And then, of course, there is Deacon Jeff Lloyd. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how special interests work here in the country. And when you look at the millions of dollars that was pumped into the campaign, there are a lot of foreigners that Menace going to have to do their bidding. Okay? Now, I'm hearing rumors that Carl Bettel is going to be named Attorney General. And this is a weekend. Carl Bettel, I want my sister, daughter, share of the land. You hear me? I don't care what Attorney General you become. I want my sister, daughter, share of the land and the money. This is personal. You hear what I tell you? It is personal. Today in the Nassau Guardian, the intended Deputy Prime Minister, the Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, K. Peter Tynecrest, told the Nassau Guardian that the FNM will have to borrow in the short time. So, the FNM is soon going to have to borrow money. So I wonder, after they would have borrowed the money, how Menace is going to be able to pay it back if he's going to get rid of VAT? Certainly, you can't get rid of VAT. But a Negro male called me and said, Menace mean getting rid of VAT as it relates to bread basket items. But next week, God spare my life, I will attempt to examine what lawfully is called bread basket item. And I'm advised that as we are speaking, Carl Bettel is somewhere in the grove, the White Grove, shining his shoes. and getting ready, him and Peter Turnquest, to go to Government House, where we are told that Carl Bettel will become the next Attorney General. Well, since he was not a candidate, in order for that objective to be achieved, certainly he will have to be appointed a senator. You would note that the last time Carl Bettel ran, I think it was in 2000, my spiritual advisor, 2012?
12.
I think it was 2012. And the people of Seabreeze, they rejected him. They had gotten tired of him. All right? He was like a political louse. He was not accountable. He was not doing anything. And they got rid of him. And so Carl became despondent, and he decided he didn't want to run again. I'm going to make sure that he does become the Attorney General, because there are one or two pieces of information I have on him the last time he was the Attorney General of the Bahamas. And it would be so good for me to discuss it. And I think it's important for the democracy to examine the history of politicians who either were in the Senate or the House of Assembly and look at what they achieved. And I think that is very important to the democracy. We also advise that Peter Turnquest, the deputy leader of the FNM, is to also be sworn in today. That's what we are hearing, as the next deputy prime minister of the Bahamas. Some Negroes suggest that he could end up being the Minister of Finance. That would be very interesting in view of the fact that while in opposition, Peter Turnquest was on the Financial Accounts Committee, and he did a poor job. You see, one of the ways that one can be guided as to whether or not a politician is going to be a very good and successful minister, you look at their activities while serving in opposition. And notwithstanding that he is an extremely wealthy man, who I'm advised knows how to count big money. On the Public Accounts Committee, he was grossly inefficient and never did a good job. But the FNM has won, they're victorious, and to the winners goes the spoil. So this is the spoil of war. And so I'm going to pray for him, because I need the economy to turn around. And they say that Peter is a good businessman. I believe that Peter is nothing but a pumpkin eater. But let's see what happens. And let's see whether or not Carl Bettel can improve his last record. Because when he last served as the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, they were losing all kind of case. But who knows? The last 5 years, he may have brushed up his legal skills. So we need to see what Carl is going to do. But Monday, I would want to discuss that. My spiritual advisor, have you been hearing anything about the new Attorney General, Carl Bettel?
Yes, I've heard that he will be appointed the next Attorney General, from what I understand. As a matter of fact, there are a few appointments that are lined up. I don't know if they've been confirmed, but there are...
Is this reliable sources, or is this fake news? Because you know, the FNM has run a successful campaign on misinformation, fake news, and red propaganda.
Well, I don't know if it's fake news, but so far...
you have good source.
Yeah, so far,
is...
everything is turning out to be just as it is here.
Okay.
Of course, the Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio, that's the Right Honorable Hubert A. Minute.
He has no portfolio?
No.
Goodness me.
All right. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, that'll be the Honorable Peter Turnquest. And, of course, Reese Chipman may be appointed Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance.
This is powerful. Hold that for a second. To the young people of Centerville, finally, you had a Minister of Finance in the person of the Prime Minister. Well, you vote him out. Now you have another good man in finance, Reese Chipman. Reese know how to make money. He's extremely wealthy. And so it is my prayer that his skills in the Ministry of Finance will be so blessed that every Negro in Centerville who wants a job, who's not lazy, will finally have all the jobs that they want. Reese Chipman, go ahead.
And of course, I'm understanding, this one is interesting, that the Minister of State and Legal Affairs and Reform would be the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson.
Okay.
Very smart young man. This one is interesting as well. The Minister of Works and Utilities and Leader of Government Business in the House would be the Honorable Renwood Wells.
Renwood Wells
will be the Minister of Works.
Stop. I'm happy to hear it. Renwood Wells, when you last served as the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Work, you were aware that the government and the foreign road builders had agreed to give me 3 truckloads of quarry. You came to my office, you inspected it, you and the foreign man from Africa, and by grab, you only bought 1 truckload. You hear me? You owe me 2 truckloads. And I want my quarry. You've been a man, notwithstanding the political favors that are done for you. You have not delivered. So I expect on the first day you go to the Ministry of Works, you will send my last 2 truckload of quarry, because you know there was an agreement and you never did it. All right? I only got 1 truckload, and I expect, you hear what I tell you? Or when I finish cursing you out, you'd be shocked. Remember, when Menace and them had you under attack, it was me who went with you on the Eastern Road, and I provided moral comfort for you. And I said to you, I'm going to look out for you. So all I want from you is the 2 large truckload of quarry which you didn't deliver. And I saw you was embarrassed, but I never threw it in your face. But I can tell it to you now. I want my 2 truckload of quarry, because we agreed after Papa had those people mess up my place. And I have not gotten the 5 gallons of green paint. And I want it. I just need to say that.
You want to do that, though?
What?
Do you want to do that? It just
How you mean I want to do it?
It's kind of like lowness-like.
That is not lowness.
You know?
He knows what the agreement was. And he bring 1 man from Africa.
Anyway, Renwood Wells is a nice guy.
All right?
I'm sure.
He will demonstrate.
Yeah.
He will demonstrate niceness
Yeah.
by bringing me my 2 truckload of quarry and the 5 gallon of green paint.
Okay, here we go. It is being reported that the Minister of State in the Ministry of Works and Utilities would be the Honorable Navarro Bowe. Of course, the Minister for Grand Bahama would be the Honorable Michael Pintard. The Minister of Health, your good doctor, Dr. Dwayne Sands. Minister of Foreign
Dwayne Sands would be Minister of Health?
Yes.
Hold on a second. Dr. Sands, listen, don't victimize me, eh? All right?
That's your good friend, though.
I have to
That's
talk
your
to
doctor.
him. Don't do nothing out the way, because, okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
So here we go. The Minister of Foreign Affairs will be the Honorable Desmond Bannister. That's what's being reported.
Desmond is going to be Foreign Affairs?
Yes, that's what is being reported.
Okay.
The Minister of Security. This is an excellent one.
National Security.
National Security would be the Honorable Marvin Dame. That is an excellent choice.
Stop. It is important to understand what is taking place. Last night, we saw at Government House a foreign investor by the name of Sarkis Ismailian. Marvin Dames was Sarkis' chief of security. Now, Marvin, Sarkis' chief of security, will now be the Minister for National Security. I want you to mark that. Okay? Next.
You have some interesting theories, Senator. But anyhow, the Minister of State in National Security, Immigration, and Defense would be the Honorable Frankie Campbell. Very good friend of mine. Very good policeman. I think those two choices are fairly decent.
Well, let's examine Frankie. I think it was in 2006 when the PLP in government was accused of assisting when the baggage handlers, I think it was 2006, were tricked into going to America where they were arrested. And when I saw how sneaky it was, I led a protest because the police were marching, and I asked the men in my neighborhood that we will stand on Ponciana Drive and held up our placards. Frankie was a corporal. When Frankie arrived on the scene and he saw me, I don't know what kind of gun it is because I'm not good at identifying guns. All I could say, it was a big gun. He stood in the front of me with his big gun, and I took mental note that here's a man with a big gun at the rank of a corporal standing in the front of citizens who are peacefully protesting. That is important to mark, because from that I have come up with a political theory, a theory I shall not share today, because next week I need to find something.
But police are always prepared just in case, Mr. Moncur. I don't know if you should read anything into that.
Listen to me. Who was leading the march?
Well, you were leading the march, Mr. Moncur.
Go to the next Negro who has been appointed. I'm going to take phone calls, eh?
Yeah, Frankie is a good man. Let me just say that, okay? Frankie Campbell. And, of course, he is the new Member of Parliament for Southern Shores. So me and him, of course, will be getting along in sweet accord.
Okay.
The Minister of State in National Security.
You said that Frankie is going to be in...
Immigration and Defense.
Hold on! Tout le monde haïtien! M'apgé, bon news pour nous! Frankie responsable pour immigration! Frankie parle créole.
En pile.
Papali, c'est anglais. Mameli, c'est haïtien. Aujourd'hui, a fait bon jour pour tout peuple parce que yon zami, moi dit ça parce que ou voter pour lui. Yon zami responsable pour immigration. Go ahead.
The Minister of State in National Security, as it relates to national intelligence, the NIA, the National Intelligence Agency, would be the Honorable Darren Henfield.
Stop! Are you telling me that Dr. Minnis is going to maintain an illegal spy agency?
This is what is being reported.
Hold on a second.
There's no confirmation yet.
I'm going on based on what they report.
Okay.
Isn't that? I asked you, you and F&M, is this reliable intelligence? I want to ask Minnis, be careful of what you do. You have accused the PLP of organizing a spy agency, and along with Fred Smith from Save the Bay, you said that the PLP was spying. I call on Dr. Minnis to forget the whole concept of spying. Abandon the idea. Forget national intelligence, because you say the PLP was going to use it to intimidate and threaten and harass us. Why should we believe that you are going to use the agency for those things that are right? I just raised the question. Go ahead.
Minister of Social Services and Community Development would be the Honorable Lanisha Roll. The Ministry of Transport and Aviation would be the Honorable Brenza Roll. That's one of Papa's boys. The Ministry of Education...
Let's go to Lanisha. What job is Lanisha having?
Social Services.
I have no problem with Lanisha. Go ahead.
She's a very personable person. The Minister of Education. This is a very fitting appointment.
Go ahead.
The Minister of Education, Science, and Technology will be the Honorable Jeff Lloyd.
Stop!
Let's go. Let's continue.
Stop. We now see two of Ismailian candidates. His Chief of Security, Marvin Dames, is the Minister of National Security. His chief teacher, because Jeff Lloyd was responsible for Sarkis Academy. Don't forget Sarkis at school. And Jeff was in charge. So Sarkis chief lecturer, school teacher, Jeff Lloyd is now, according to my spiritual advisor, the next Minister of Education.
A very fitting appointment.
We're not discussing that yet, because Papa, upon learning that he was playing school in the bushes of Andres, Papa defunded it.
Maybe Papa wasn't safe.
Well, I'm going to leave that between you and Papa. Go ahead and tell me.
The Minister of Youth, Sports, and Culture would be the Honorable Aram Lewis.
Okay, I have no problem with that, because Aram is a good runner. I hope he set an example for the youth, because when I showed up to serve on him a court order, he'd break off, run, jump in his truck, and reverse. And he didn't know what kind of man I was. I run behind the truck. I say, Aram Lewis, stop in the name of the Queen. I hope he'd be a good example for the young people in the country. Next.
The Minister of Environment and Energy will be Romuald Fiera.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Romuald. When he was a little boy, guess who used to lift him up?
You know?
Me. Every time he saw me, he said, lift him up. But sometimes I have a regret that I didn't drop him on the ground.
Yeah,
But
his sister taught me something.
But I don't know his sister. I only knew him.
She's deceased.
Yeah.
Jane Pateman.
Okay.
The Minister of Labor, Human Capital Development, and Public Service, good choice, Honorable Mark Humes. The Minister
Mark Humes in Labour?
Yeah.
That's a mistake. Mark.
You think so?
Yes, Mark should have been the educator.
Do you think so?
Yeah, Mark is extremely competent.
Yeah, he's intelligent.
But if he's in Labour, okay, go ahead.
Minister of Out Island Affairs and Local Government will be the Honorable Miriam Emanuel.
Okay, Miriam appears to be a saved woman. Go ahead.
Here comes the big one. The Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio Diagla.
Wow. Everything that I predicted yesterday. I said yesterday it would be interesting to see who among Sarkis people will become Minister of National Security. Sarkis Chief Security, Marvin Dames is it. Who will become the Minister of Education, Sarkis Chief Teacher. And who will be Minister of Tourism, the man who Sarkis named a whole suite after.
Was it him or his father that the suit was after?
My spiritual advisor, you heard who I said it was. It was Sarkis. His father and Sarkis is not in set. Them two in set. Okay? This is Freedom March.
Let me finish this off.
Sarkis is Marillion, has the plump, the F&M, and Menace has emerged as stooges for Sarkis is Marillion. Wow, we're in trouble. The PLP, I call upon their thousands of supporters to quickly get over the defeat and organize. All right? I think some of our protests, when Marvin go contrary, when Jeff go contrary, when Denuncio go contrary, and when Dr. Menace pussyfoot, we should take the march to their boss. Sarkis is Marillion. Wow, it's powerful. Menace pudding, you say, it's the people's time, eh? Listen, people, y'all don't look like Sarkis. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. My spiritual advisor is an apologist for unsaved F&M. And when we come back, we're going to discuss more of Sarkis' strategy. Sarkis is the plum seed. Sarkis is getting everything. Tout le monde haïtien m'a fâché aujourd'hui. Ah! Salope! Salope! Anyway, let me really relax. at least I have a good man as Minister of Health. Now, Dr. Dwayne Sands, do not mess with national health insurance, eh? Other than that, I may have to curse you out, but I'm not sure, because you are my heart doctor and my prostate doctor. I'll be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Moncur, only on ILTV. Freedom March with Rodney Moncur.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. I'm joined by my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome once again.
Thank you, Senator.
It is a sad day in my country, for the foreign forces have assembled. Last night, the new Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, has produced the master behind the F&M campaign. Sarkis is Marillion. And if the reports that we have received are correct, the strategy is beginning. Carl Bettel, as Attorney General, will move swiftly to determine whether or not the sale is a legitimate sale, because Minnis has promised to sell again. Marvin Dames will maintain security. Sarkis need plenty security. And as you know, Marvin was an efficient chief of security for Sarkis. Jeff Light, who ran Sarkis Bahama Academy, is the new Negro Minister of Education. Andy Aguilar, who Sarkis named a whole suite after, he will be the tourism minister. So everything is in place. As ministers say, it is the people's time. So we shall see. My spiritual advisor, I need to soon take calls.
Yes.
What else do you have?
Yeah, just a couple more things to end this list. It is reported that the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries will be the Honorable Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe. The Minister of Commerce, Financial Services and Investment could be the Honorable Brent Simonet. The Speaker of the House could be the Honorable Halston Moutry, and the Deputy Speaker, which is a good choice, could be Adrian Gibson.
Well, quickly, I'll take phone calls. If anybody ought to have been Minister of Agriculture, it should have been Michael Pentard. Michael is trained in agriculture. How I know? I used to take him in the back of the bushes. And he has an associate in agriculture. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Don't listen to my voice in the background. Are you there? Cut that person. They're listening to my voice in the background. And go to the next line. Okay. Pakeisha Parker. I thought she was a journalist. Is she a fit and proper person to put in agriculture? Michael Pentard, while he has been elevated, according to the reports we're getting, as minister responsible for Grand Bahama, he ought to have been appointed minister responsible for Grand Bahama and agriculture. Why? Michael knows how to plant peas and bean and cassava and sweet potato and onion. I don't know if Pakeisha knows that. Welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, Mr. Moncur, how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Okay, what I called to tell you, if Hubert is saying he's putting people first, why is it that all of this conversity about with the F&M, that this one is appointed, that one is appointed? Michael Pentard, like you said, I've known him for a very long time. We went to school together. Why is he not Minister of Agriculture? Because I known him from background, because when he used to live through in the Grove, and
Yes.
7th Street, the Grove.
Yes.
We used to go like in the farm, you know, and dig up like little carrots and things like that. Why is not? He's not. What is Hubert Minnis up to?
Well, fundamentally, I think what has happened is Michael has grown old and fat and lazy and don't like the sun. But Michael was trained in agriculture. I know for a fact, because when he was young, I mentored him politically. I had a training political camp in the back of the bush. And that's where I took him and countless young men for political education and indoctrination. And he studied agriculture at the College of the Bahamas. So it is a sad day that Michael will plant peas, nor corn.
Because Huberman is just
Go ahead.
Because Huberman is just appointed as Prime Minister. He needs to wake up and smell the coffee before he gets to, evicted out of the Prime Minister. He needs to get his act together. He even ain't been in office good, a week good, and this foolishness is already started.
Well, the greatest foolishness is the fact that he has produced suckers. And I want suckers to stay far from government house. All right? But minutes are them there. But anyway, the Negroes will see how this unfolds.
Yes,
Sarkis's voice.
Yes, if he don't step up, we're going to ship him out.
Well, my sister, get ready. Let's organize. We can have peaceful march and protest. It's a beautiful democracy. Take it care.
God bless them, Mr. Rodney.
God bless you.
We got some breaking news.
We have breaking news?
We have some breaking news, Rodney.
What is it, my spiritual
And
advisor?
I'll wait to confirm, but here's the latest. It is reported.
Be careful now. Is it anti-PLP?
No.
You're sure?
I think this is a good one.
Let me hear it.
Breaking news just in. It is reported that the Honorable Janet Bostwick will be the new Governor General.
And where's that source coming from?
I see a menace here.
Who?
I can't tell you who it is.
Well, we will not discuss Janet. We will not discuss Janet until next week. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Good day, hello, sir. How you doing, Mr. Moncur?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm excellent. This is a wonderful day in the Bahamas. I think the Bahamian people, the caller before me, they ain't even giving Mr. Minister a chance. Mr. Minister, yes, was elected as leader. Mr. Minister needed a chance to get his affairs in order and start to serve the Bahamian people, man. I think you're unfairly...
What did I say that you would regard as being unfair?
You then come in with this allegation of Mr. Ismaili and so forth.
Did you see the Nassau Guardian? Answer that question for me.
The man got, listen.
Did you see?
Friends, man.
Goodness, I asked
you say Joe Moat Bahamians like white people.
They want you to cut down your TV because there's feedback. I regret that I said here.
I don't have no TV.
Okay, he has no TV. Listen to me. Just go get the Nassau Guardian, read the Nassau Guardian, read the Tribune. Call me back on Monday. I'm F&M, although I'm angry with the party, and I will entertain you. You may call me what you want to call me. Just don't call me stupid. Welcome to Freedom March. There's nobody else. Well, my spiritual advisor, I want us to leave Janet alone because F&Ms have been spreading a lie that I called Janet picky head. I never called Mrs. Bostwick picky head. I said that Candia, though she has long hair, she has a picky head.
Let's leave all the name calling.
You stop that.
We have a country to build.
But they
Senator.
deliberately said I said Janet. I never said Janet Bostwick had a picky head. Because if you knew Janet Mother was a half-white woman, a brown-skinned woman, curly hair, nice mulatto color. I would never call her picky head. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Good afternoon, Senator.
Sir.
Mr. Moncur.
Speak quickly.
Hello?
Talk to me. Just talk to me. Don't listen to nothing. Talk. I'm listening to you.
Okay, Mr. Moncur, I want to remind you, and I'm sure your spiritual advisor could also tap into it, that bad company
corrupts good character.
Yes. And so I want to commend you on the broadcast on election night, because you did a tremendous job, and I felt like Mr. Bodie was trying to bait you into getting excited or off your game or whatever.
Yes.
And I was kind of disappointed when he and the producers or whoever brought you that shit kind of run you hard. I don't know why they did it, but you was doing an excellent job.
I thank you.
And I want to commend you for having a spiritual advisor and remind you that there is a reason why you have one, and I would advise you to continue to take his advice and guidance.
Okay.
Now, one more thing before I hang up, Mr. Moncur, I would like to say to you, with regards to Deacon Jeffrey Lloyd,
Yes.
I would point out to you that the Lord delivered Saul
Oh, hallelujah.
into David's hand. David,
Yes.
remember, was deep in the cave,
I remember.
and Saul coming to sleep in the same cave, but David did him no harm.
Right.
No harm.
David only cut piece of the rope to show him,
Right.
I had you dead.
Absolutely.
But he said, no,
Spared his
that's
life.
not anointed, I ain't going to do it. And I will say to you, Mr. Moncur, say to Deacon Jeffrey Lloyd, like David said to Saul, you hear, my friend, just may the Lord watch over me and you while we absent one for another.
It's
Mr.
powerful.
Moncur, you are the leader of a very powerful grass movement, and the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas need to continue to hear your voice.
I
So
thank
please,
you.
sir,
I thank
don't
you.
put yourself in the position like now Cable Bahamas victimizing you, and we can't. We need you.
I thank you.
We need you, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
I thank you. My
Very
spiritual
interesting.
advisor
Very interesting call.
helped me to repeat the scripture that he said to me that I should say to Deacon Jeffrey Lloyd.
May the Lord
Jeffrey Lloyd, may the Lord
watch between me
watch
and thee
between me and you
while we are absent
while we are absent
one from another.
one from another.
The only thing I can say, Mr. Moncur, is that we must realize that as we accept the principles of Christianity, that we should not allow hate to permeate our hearts.
Take it
because
from me.
what hate does is actually destroys. We are
My
in this
spiritual
thing
advisor,
to love
There
and forgive
is
one
no
another.
hate in my heart.
Okay.
Take it from
Okay.
me. God has been good. On the 30th of November, 2016, I became 60. And 19 days later, decent Loretta Butler Turner was touched by the Spirit of God, and she invited me to become a senator. And I've served for 3 months without any scandal.
Okay.
So God has been good to me. And I am happy for all those who have been elected. All I ask of my party, the FNM, before I bid you all farewell, because obviously I have to do it. I'm being intimidated. I'm being threatened. They're following my Jeep. I don't know what they're trying to do. All I say to you all, those who have been elected, you must be responsible and do put the people's first. And I want to say to Dr. Minnis, now that you are Prime Minister, I want you to shed the sheet of corruption by finally getting rid of the contract.
You have a call.
You had all kind of opportunities. This is your 3rd time. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
I didn't call to argue, but one question. What is your infatuation with Mr. Ismailian?
I believe that Ismailian is interfering in the politics of the Bahamas, and I do not want anyone who's not a citizen of the Bahamas getting involved in my country's politics. That's all.
Oh, okay, sir, but the way you display it, it makes Dr. Minnis look like a puppet.
But he is.
I beg to differ.
Okay. How old are
I'm
you?
an honorable man.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 17 years old, sir.
Wow, you're 17. Then I shall talk non-aggressively to you. I'm 60.
I know, sir.
And I'm going to tell you that what Dr. Minnis has done in his political life is not the way the system ought to run. Take it from me. But he has a 3rd opportunity to do the right thing. Take it from me. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And you take good care. I'm so excited to see that you are interested
Yes.
in the country. May
Very-
God bless you.
Interesting.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Very sincere call, too.
Yes. So, my spiritual advisor, what else is happening?
Well,
It appears that Sarkis is successful in getting the first piece
Mr. Moncur,
of
I want you to do
the
this.
fruit.
I want you to do this.
Tell me.
As a seasoned activist, let's do this. Let's give our new Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Menace, and the Free National Movement an opportunity to govern the country.
I can assure you
Let's give them
that I have done
let's
nothing.
give them that opportunity first.
My spiritual advisor,
Don't preempt.
No.
Don't preempt.
No.
Dr. Menace or
Hold on a second.
his cabinet.
I've done nothing unlawfully to preempt the legitimate government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. They are my political leaders. These are the members of parliament. I shall do nothing unlawfully to them. Nothing. Menace is the prime minister. I accept that. I accept that all of the 39 members who were elected is collectively
You have a
the
phone call.
government of the Bahamas.
You have a phone call.
I have a phone call? Okay, let me take the call. And I should do nothing unlawfully. But I have a right to preempt him from the very appearance of corruption. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Don't listen to my voice in the background. Focus on me. Hello. Hello once. Hello twice.
Yep.
Sir,
He's there.
speak to me.
Yes, Mr. Moncur.
Sir.
Yes, Mr. Moncur.
Sir,
Turn your TV down.
sir, speak to me.
All right, it's down.
Okay, I can
Great.
hear you.
Yes, your advisor keep using the word you're honorable. He is not honorable until he is united by the Queen.
Okay.
So that's all I call to confirm.
Okay.
We thank you very much.
Thank you for that correction.
I have another phone call. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hey, Mr. Moncur.
Sir.
I have 3 questions to ask.
Okay.
3 questions. Sperry Grizzly still the Prime Minister?
No.
Okay, is Liberetta Butler Turner still the Leader of Opposition?
No.
So why are you the Senator?
I am not a senator. I announced yesterday that my term in office had come to an end. You may not have been listening to the show.
Well, your spiritual advisor always saying you're the Senator.
Well, you know, he's being kind, he's being courteous. What would you like for him to call me?
Mr. Moncur.
My spiritual advisor, a Negro male, has appeared on telephone, and he is desirous of you calling me Mr. Moncur.
I will do that.
Instead of saying Mr. Moncur, could you say Brother Moncur?
Okay, I'll say Brother Moncur.
Okay, sir. I thank you for your
It's
contribution.
not a problem.
Welcome to Freedom March.
Turn your TV down.
Hello? Hello?
They're gone.
Well, so these are interesting scenarios, my spiritual advisor. The weekend is drawing.
But before we get to the weekend, I think you had said that some religious figure had given you some
I
threat.
have decided
You're going to pull back on that?
that I'll hold that
Okay.
and I shall do what scripture. Help me with the scripture. If your brother,
Offends you,
what should I do?
you have to forgive him, Mr. Moncur.
Should I not go and see him?
Well, you should, yeah. In a case like that, what you do is you go and you show the brother his fault just between the two of you all.
And if it doesn't work,
You might win him over.
who should I send for?
Then if it doesn't happen, then you take 1 or 2 witnesses along with you so that in the face of those witnesses, everything can be established.
So I should send for the elders.
Well, not necessarily the elders, but of course another witness or 2 and
Okay.
discuss the matter.
And if he still does not repent,
Then you take it before the church.
goodness me, but he's not a member of the denomination I go to.
Well, that's the problem.
Then I'll have to
But
curse him out.
No,
That's
no,
it.
no. Bless and do not curse.
Well, we have roughly 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a weekend. The FNM is in power.
Absolutely.
I want to appeal to my people, the Negro. We have a new government. It's a new beginning. Please don't murder. If you murder, right, we will then begin to blame that on the FNM. And it's not fair. Marvin Dames has not had an opportunity to even see the commissioner of police. So let's not kill anyone, because Dr. Menace has 91% of the seat. he has more than enough to introduce a bill for a referendum. And the PLP will not be able to stop it. And if God spare my life, next week, I'm going to be pointing out to Minnis the things he promised. See how powerful God is? The man got 91% of the seat. So he has no lawful excuse not to move resolutely for a referendum. With one question: how do moving the impediments that prevents the court from enforcing the death penalty? I have a call.
Yeah.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello?
How are you?
Yeah, I listen to you talk really rumbling on, but Mr. Menace, Sarkis, and Bama and all that. I want to know, seriously, I want to know now. Are you still upset because they didn't nominate you for chairman of FNM?
No.
And why don't you leave Sarkis alone? You don't know why.
Do you know Sarkis?
No.
Hold on a second.
No.
Put him on hold.
Let me
Put him on
know.
hold. Young man, do you know Sarkis? Let me give you a story, eh? I'm a member of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and Sarkis is a member of the church. Bring him back.
Yourself a Christian, you are being very, 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 very petty. And right now you need to stop. Because you're irritating a lot of people. A lot of people just don't want to stop watching this.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to stop.
That's all I got to say.
How do I keep you?
No.
How do I keep you? What should I say?
You are irritating the very young people now. Stop it.
Okay.
Seriously, you need to get onto the topic. Leave Menace, Sarkis, a lot of politicians alone. Deal with some serious issues. Talk about the PLP, how bad it bring down the country.
The PLP has been voted out.
No, Bonnie, we still know what the money
Listen to me.
We still know why Perry Christie
Menace has appointed a finance... Put this... Hang on this young man.
No, let me talk.
Young man, Menace is now in a position to know what happened to the VAT money. And I'm certain he's going to tell us. Hubert Ingram has already told us that Christie didn't steal it. So Menace is going to tell us. Okay? I have another phone call. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hey, good day. Good day, Ms. Moncur. How you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
Excellent. I see you talking about Sarkis. Mr. Moncur, you forget but Nigati. That might have been like the key.
What about Nygaard?
You say you don't like when the people get involved in the beam in politics.
Well, who told? Let me give you a story. When my house burned down, what's my name? Nygaard. Hold on a second. Send a Negro male to me at 5:30 in the evening to come to Life with Key. And I asked the fella, what Nygaard wants to see me about? Because I had heard all kind of... Hold on a second. I heard all kind of kinky reports. And he said to me, if you come to Life with Key, Nygaard will give you $10,000. And my wife had just finished saying to me, where we can find food. And I told her, man, tell Nygaard I don't want his $10,000. And I'm not coming to Life with Key because a number of my colleagues told me that when you get to Life with Key, you got to go in the pool. You got to take off your clothes. And at 60, my body don't look good. All right? You take good care.
Yeah.
I don't want no more call because I only have 3 more minutes. I ain't going because the fellas them said to me months ago, they said, don't go to Life with Key. I asked them why. They said, when you get there, you got to take off your clothes. You got to go in the pool. And you can imagine me with an ugly body like this, taking off my clothes, jumping in the pool, to do what? All right? Spiritual advisor, we got 3 minutes. Tell my people not to commit any crime under the FNM. Go ahead.
Mr. Moncur, one of the things that I find to be extremely fascinating, especially after the elections, we all have accepted the results of the elections.
My spiritual advisor, the clock is running on me, and I have to end the show. Tell them to not kill.
Yes, not to murder. But what we have now, Mr. Moncur, is we have this hatred towards one another because of our political persuasion.
The clock is running out on me.
All right? It's a weekend. We want everyone to enjoy the weekend.
Enjoy the weekend.
No murders.
No murders.
Try to enjoy your family.
No rape.
No rape. No robberies. Yes.
The FNM is in charge.
Right,
don't give them bad name. Please. Don't kill under the FNM.
And I think that Marvin Day is going to do a good job at keeping everything in order in this country.
Okay. You all hear that? Don't commit no crime under the FNM. I want crime to stop. So we could keep it, say, see all our crime the PLP had? and ain't none on the F&M. All right? Come on, man. Let's stop it. And to the F&M, stop intimidating the woman on Cowpen Road, okay? Look, folks, this is a wonderful country. By and large, we had a peaceful election. We had a peaceful transfer of power. Dr. Minnis is now the Prime Minister. And I want to use the opportunity to congratulate him.
Absolutely.
And to say to him,
yes,
listen, I wish you success.
Absolutely.
But be aware that there is one Negro in the Bahamas who shall be watching his leadership. And by grab, if I determined that skullduggery has reemerged, I'm going to attack. And Dr. Minnis, I want by Monday you announce that you have gotten rid of the contract. It's corruption. And let's clean it up. Rodney, do well.
Of course.
I thank you.
Absolutely.
You're a great man. To the people around the world, to my Negro people, I wish you peace, love, and progress. No violence, okay? We have no right to kill anybody. And I believe that murderers should be denied bail. So don't kill nobody. And I believe that murderers should be hanged. So let's don't kill nobody. All right? Let's live at peace. At peace, okay? Do well. Till next week. God bless you. Dear Margaret, I was so proud to see how dignified you conducted your high office when you swore in Dr. Hubert Minnis. God save the Queen. God save dear son, Her Excellency, dear Margaret Penley. Goodbye.
Have a good weekend.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.